Right, this is Paul. He's just come in to show us around this stand, and he's now going to do a demonstration of how it works.
Well, this is how I work it. Whether it's how they would recommend is another question, but you can do this on your own, or I do it on my own. It is obviously easier and safer with two people. We do have a Martin today, so we might just take advantage of that. Stand the bike upright. Like I say, it can be done on your own, but it's easier with someone. Slide stand out of the way. Each bike has well, they're not bike specific, but find the correct size mounting point. Into the swinging arm spindle. Align with this side, bring that home. That's the easy bit. I tend to lock the wheels out at this point just to stop it sliding out. We have the other side, which also has a swinging arm pivot point in it. Slides on from this side and aligns. Make sure it's home. And that popped out the other side. Yeah, be careful they don't pop out the other side, of course. Once you've got both of them home, there's a nice little finger tight knurl here that you can do just to nip it up. You can put a couple of turns on. At that point it's fairly stable, so again, if you are doing this on your own, you can sort of leave a sigh of relief at that point. Grab the 6mm Allen key and lock it off. We've got a 6mm lock off bolt down here. Really important to do that, that's where the safety comes from. Stops it sliding out. Then you can wind a bit of extra torque on.
It's just hand tight, you don't...
Yeah, just sort of hand tight.
Yeah.
In fairness, all the load is obviously in a vertical
direction.
Yeah, downwards direction. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trying to work my verticals, my horizontals out there for a minute, but downwards will do. That's great. Then it's just a matter of deciding how you want the bike, what orientation you want it in. So you can have the front end in the air, you can have the back end in the air, or you can have the bike level. For what we're doing today, we're obviously going to be checking your rear suspension linkages, so it makes sense to just lift the back of the bike.
Yeah.
And that's really easily done. Just lock off the pressure release valve and simply jack the bike up. Being careful to make sure that no levers or foot pegs or anything foul as you're lifting it. Generally on an RSV you'll be absolutely fine, but always worth a check. If however you wanted, so that's the back end coming up, nice and easy, and the weight of the engine keeps the front end down. If however you wanted the front end of the bike in the air, if I lower that back down, you can simply use this strap, and if you harness from the swinging arm to this point here,
yeah,
you secure the back of the bike. This is constantly the base of the stand, so as you then lift the stand, you can imagine it pivots.
the other way, yeah.
Yeah, and if you want to keep it flat, there's an extension arm somewhere around here. Thank you very much, my willing assistant. That slides in, and obviously if you then belt, in fact I can actually do it for the sake of demonstration. If you're strapped in there, then as you lift, the foot starts to come off the ground as well. It takes a moment. Obviously the back lifts first. Now we've got the front off the ground as well.
Okay.
And we can. Okay, I started this obviously already up. If you'd started it flat on the ground, you'd have a slightly more level machine. But you can take this up to pretty much waist height.
Yeah,
makes it really easy to work on. For what we're doing, like I say, I'll drop it back down. Take the strapping off. And remove that bar again because it's not really necessary. Check mine.
So the advantage with this basically is that we can still move the bike around. Well, so we can start taking bits off it, and then if the thing's in the way.
For me, yes, definitely, you're absolutely right. It is really helpful to be able to move a bike once it's got the wheels out and you're still working on it. For me though, it's a little bit more than that. It's that you could choose to have both wheels out at the same time, which isn't always the easiest thing to do with paddock stands or whatever. You can have forks out, you can have swinging arms out. Again, all things you can do with an abba stand, but on the bench, not always so easy. What I really love it for though is that you can work on a bike without the impediment of a bench. So quite often, while the bench is brilliant, it stops you getting underneath the bike maybe as easily. I don't know, maybe you've got a fairing fastener that's seized and you want to get underneath here and drill it out, or even a simple operation like that when you're on the bench that's already up in the air, lent on your back with the drill that doesn't get underneath, you haven't got the clearance. So yeah, this just lets you get completely around the bike. And for anyone who's concerned about the strap or the point on the swinging arm that causes the bike to lift, because I know I was at first, I was a little bit unsure as to just how strong those points were or what have you. You've got to bear in mind that it's only a pivot point for the bike. So the majority of the weight, maybe this bike's got, I don't know, a front weight distribution of 60-40 or something of that nature. So you're only actually dealing with the 10% difference between the two. Now, we've picked a nice heavy V-twin to do this on, so it's not going to be the easiest to demonstrate, but generally speaking, if you find a secure point and leave it down, you can sort of see that there's not too much weight on the back end, on the front end of the bike. It does balance reasonably well at this centre point.
Sure. Okay. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. And well, let's find out what we're dealing with here, eh? One suspension linkage. A bit more. Like I say, this is just an operation that on a bench would be more of a challenger.
FT.
Yeah, FT.
Special FT.
Yeah.
Get your ratchet.
Okay, I'm going to cut the video here, and we're going to save all the faff in. We're going to get it all undone, and then we'll have a look at it then. So back with you in a moment. Okay, so what we discovered.
Oh well, as is quite often the way with the RS3, it doesn't look like it's had any regular greasing, and consequently you can see where the cage roll has completely fallen apart. There's a lot of corrosion in there. Yeah. There was some play before we even started. This is going to need new bearings throughout. It left undone, what can happen is these dog bones start to slide left to right, and then they wear on these triangular plates, and eventually have been known to even wear through the plates. Okay. So this is really, really important maintenance that unfortunately is overlooked.
That's not been done on this, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll get JJ to order some bits up for me then. And we'll go from there.
We will reconvene in a couple of days and get it done for you.
Okay, perfect.
Cheers.
Okay.